Hi, my name is Alex Borde, and in this brief video, I want to show you around the MetalSoft Morpheus integration. And for those of you who don't know, MetalSoft is a full stack solution, manages servers, switches, storage, and generally the physical infrastructure, whereas Morpheus manages generally the layers above, the application, provisioning and life cycle, blueprints and other forms of application level automation. Right? Obviously, there's a lot of synergies between the two platforms. Right, MetalSoft will run underneath Morpheus, and then Morpheus will be the front end for many of the operations that customers want to run, especially in hybrid setups where you have both public cloud setups as well as private cloud setups. In this setup that we have here, MetalSoft is your private cloud. Right, your on-prem cloud, and then Morpheus will allow you. This Morpheus dashboard will allow you to provision, instances, bare metal instances onto the MetalSoft cloud. Right. So, in our setup here, we have, servers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 servers. This one is defective, but we still have 2 available. This one is already provisioned, as well as this one. Right. And as you know, MetalSoft manages the entire lifecycle of the physical servers, as well as I said before, the switches. So this is the Fabric Manager. We have 2 Dell OS 10 switches here, and then there's a third interface for building the topologies that the customers use, right, with the servers connected to networks and so forth. So what we want to do today is show you how you would do the integration itself, and then how you would provision a server. We already have provisioned something because provisioning takes a bit of time, so we don't want to wait until everything is provisioned in the video, but I can show you how you start the provisioning and then how it looks like after the provisioning. Right. So everything starts with creating a cloud, right, which you do from the infrastructure tab here from clouds. You click add, you select MetalSoft, click next. If you're familiar with Morpheus, this is very, very similar. You fill in the credentials, which you should already have, the API key, select the site. A site is the data center, from MetalSoft's perspective, and then you click next, and that's it. And then after that, you have the MetalSoft cloud configured, and then in that cloud we can provision resources, right? Both physical servers as well as network resources. Right? So we're going to create a new instance from this tab here, from the provisioning and instances tab. Right? So the way you do it, you click add, and select the cloud. Give this guy a name. Production, next. So you'll notice that the server types are dynamically pulled from MetalSoft. These are like Amazon instance types or other cloud instance types. 2 servers that have identical configuration will typically receive the same server type. Right? This M notation here. So you select that server type. You select the SSH key, which you should also already have defined. An OS template. Something like this Ubuntu here, and then a network to which you want to create, or more, right, if you need to. Click next. We can also run a task on a machine after it has been provisioned. Click next. Complete. Right. So this is all it takes, and then the system will stay in this provisioning status for a while until everything gets provisioned, right? So it's going to progress. The progress will go here, and then at the end we'll have the infrastructure provision. And I want to show you in MetalSoft an existing infrastructure where the other server was provisioned, right? So it's this infrastructure here. We call an infrastructure a VPC-like construct that isolates elements, right? So we have 2. You have the original test01 instance, which is green, and then it's connected to this default network, right? And the provisioning process is ongoing. Actually, let's open up the provisioning graph. So MetalSoft builds these graphs every time there's a provisioning flow, right? And then this will take a while. It will go power on the server, go on the switches, configure the switch ports accordingly, build an OS image, attach it to the server, if needed, do firmware upgrade on the server, and so forth. Right? So all this process will continue in the background here. Right? So in the meantime, let's switch over to the other instance that we already have. Right? So you see how the end result looks like. Right? So as you can see, this one has a different status. And maybe we can walk you around here a bit. Storage, network, right? So there is another window where we can show monitoring, which is in this compute. The agent is running on the machine, but for some reason that monitoring part is shown only here in this tab, like this one here. Same, storage, memory. And coming back to the instances tab, I can see also the history with what was executed on the machines, including the create dummy file task that was executed on the machine. And then the console also works and and that's it, right? If you want to delete the server, use this button here, and and that's it. I mean, this is how you would provision bare metal instances in MetalSoft together with the network, and you're up and running just like you are with any other cloud.